Hello, today we're going to do Module 5, Lesson 14. Excuse me. We're going to place unit fractions on a number line with endpoints of 0 and 1. Okay, before we start, let's do our application problem. Mr. Ray is knitting a scarf. I've got a scarf on, that's kind of cool. He says that he has completed 1/5 of the total length of the scarf. 1/5 of it. I think I'm going to need a black. Change color. Draw a picture of the final scarf, okay? Label what he has finished and what he has to make. Okay, and then we have to draw a number bond with two parts to show the fraction he has made and the fraction he has not made. Okay, so let's start with the final scarf. So we know that the general shape of a scarf is a long, thin rectangle. Okay, now he's finished 1/5 of it, which means I need to cut it into what? Fifths, right? All right, so let's see if I can do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now he's completed 1/5. We have to show the part that he has finished. So I'm going to write 1/5. Whoa. And I'm just like a number bond, I'm going to label it. Finished. And then I'm going to label this part. This is not finished. Okay. Draw a number bond with two parts to show the fraction that he has made and the fraction that he has not made. Okay, so when he gets done, how many will he have? Now it said it has to be a two-part number bond, which tells me I don't have to have 5 for all the fifths. So I've got a part here and a part here. When he gets done, he will have one whole scarf, right? Now, he has done 1/5. This is the part that is finished. So I'm going to put an F here for finished. This is the part that's not finished. Well, let's count this here. These are all 1/5. All right, so let's count the fifths that are not finished. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4/5 are not finished. So this is going to be 4/5 are not finished. Okay, did we do everything? Absolutely, we're completely done. Okay, moving on. Now if you notice on this slide, I have a long green arrow. This is going to be our number line. So I would like you to draw a straight line, maybe using one of the lines on your lined paper so you have a nice line. Put arrows at both ends because number lines can go forever and ever and ever in either direction. And that's what those arrows show. Now, should have drawn this. Let's make a fraction strip. I'm going to make it the same length as my number line. It's going to be my number line. Now, this is my first fraction strip, and I'm going to label my number line. So, from right here, this is my point of origin. My point of origin is always 0. This is where the number line begins, essentially, so that's why we call it point of origin. Now, it can still go off in the other direction, can't it? That's not where it's that you can't go less than 0. All right, so 0. And how many will I have? How much of my fraction strip would I have when I get to here? I would have 1, right? 1 fraction strip. When I get done, I will have 1 whole. Okay, now, I'm going to use a different color. If you have a different color, you might want to do it too. We're going to start, and we're going to put this on my number line. So let's make a fraction strip, and let's cut it in half. Let's mark our halves. So I'm going to mark it right here. This is 1/2, right? Because this would be 1/2, and this would be 1/2. Well, that means that when I take this line down here, this right here is 1/2. Okay? Now, you can either add on to it, or you can draw another fraction strip, but I'm going to erase this part. Oh my goodness, I didn't quite mean to do it that way. So I've marked it in half, and here's my halfway. What if we mark it into fourths? So I know if I'm going to have a half, if I cut my half in half, I have 4 pieces, so I'll have 4. So from here to here, I'm going to cut it in half. And this would be 1/4, this would be 1/4. So if I cut my half in half, I have another 1/4. Okay? Okay, so let's transfer my lines down here. I already have this one. I'm going to put my line right here, and I already have this one. Okay, so from here to here, how many do I have? I have 1/4. From here to here, how many do I have? I would have 2/4. From here all the way here, I've got 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, so this right here would be 3/4. I've now put that on my number line. Okay? Now, I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to get a different color. Now, I think I want a medium one. There we go. I'm going to get a different color. We're going to do something else. Okay? We're going to do red. Now this time let's do thirds. So let's cut it in thirds. Well, that's about right here. And that would be about right here. Okay, so this part of my fraction strip would be 1/3. This is 1/3. And this is 1/3. Okay, let's transfer it onto my number line. Okay, I'm going to clean off these right here. Let's just see the number line as it is. Now we could put all these on and stack them all on, but right now I want you just to see it just as plain as day. Alright, so I transfer my lines coming down. There's one here, and here's one here. Okay, so from here, from here to here I have 1/3. From here to here I have 2/3. And from here to here I would have 3/3, which would be 1 whole. Correct? Okay. Let's turn this over for just a minute. Alright, now let's leave it as this. Now let's make number bonds to show the fraction strip and to show my number line. So I'm going to start here. What goes in here? What is my total? My total is 1. I have 1 whole. Now I divide it into thirds, so I'm going to have 3 stems out. And now what goes in each one? That would be 1/3 for this one, 1/3 for this one, and 1/3 for this one. So 1, 2, 3/3 should equal 1 whole. Does it? It sure does. Okay, I want to do one more. I'm going to start fresh. I'm going to make me a fraction strip. Alright, and let's label it. My point of origin is 0. And when I get done, I'm going to have 1 whole. Okay, let's divide it into, how about fifths? Let's divide it into fifths. So it'd be 1, 2, try to make it as even as you can. Fifths you kind of have to eyeball. Okay, so this would be 1/5 on my fraction strip. This is 1/5 on my fraction strip. This is 1/5 on my fraction strip. Okay, now I'm going to transfer my lines onto my number line. Okay, so I'm going to bring this line down here onto my number line. This down here onto the number line. Do you see I'm doing that? Go ahead and you do that. Now let's label each one of these lines. So I go from the point of origin to this line. Point of origin is 1/5. Point of origin to here I have how many fifths? 2/5. Point of origin all the way here I have 3/5. Point of origin all the way here 1, 2, 3, 4/5. Point of origin all the way from here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/5. Wait a minute, 5/5 is the same as 1 whole. Interesting. Okay, now let's make a number bond to show this. Okay, so what is my total? My total is 1 whole number strip. And I cut it into 5 parts, so I'm going to need 5 pegs out. 2, 3, 4, or 5 spokes, you could say, making a circle for each one. Now I'm going to label the insides. This is going to go right here. This would be 1/5. This would be 1/5 for this piece. This is 1/5 for this piece. This is 1/5 for this piece. And this is 1/5 for this piece. So that should be 5/5 should equal 1 whole. Let's see. 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5 does equal 1 whole, doesn't it? We've now showed it with a number line right here. We showed it with a number bond here. And we have shown it with a fraction strip. Right? Okay, good luck, and I will see you soon.